pitch black outside, not a single streetlight in sight, and you're driving down an unfamiliar road. The only light you have is from your car's headlights, cutting through the endless void. You take a turn, and something feels off. It's your first time in this city, and you're utterly lost. 50 years ago, you'd be fumbling with a paper map, praying to stumble upon an open gas station or a late-night diner. Your fate would rest in the hands of some weary night shift worker. Who's to say they're even trustworthy? But today, in 2024, you simply reach into your pocket, pull out your smartphone, and let technology take over. If you're lucky, your car might even drive you to your destination with a single voice command. Sounds like magic, doesn't it? This isn't some sci-fi fantasy, it's GPS, a technology so woven into our lives that we barely notice it. It's in your phone, your car, your smartwatch. But here's the kicker, GPS wasn't born in a Silicon Valley garage. It came from DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, a shadowy arm of the US Pentagon. And GPS is just the tip of the iceberg. Your phone's processor, DARPA's fingerprints are on it. The battery powering it, DARPA had a hand in that too. Wireless connectivity, touch screens, voice recognition, even the internet itself, these everyday miracles trace back to DARPA's labs. They've shaped our modern world in ways most of us can't even fathom. But here's where it gets chilling. Behind the shiny gadgets and life-changing innovations lies a darker truth. DARPA's mission isn't just about making your life easier, it's about power, control, and often war. Their breakthroughs come with a cost, and today, we're peeling back the curtain to explore the unsettling side of their work. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. What is DARPA? Let's start with the basics. DARPA, or the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, is the Pentagon's innovation engine, founded in 1958 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Its creation was a direct response to the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik, the first artificial satellite which sent shockwaves through the US government. America was losing the space race, and DARPA was born to ensure that never happened again. Nicknamed the home of mad scientists, DARPA's job is to dream up technologies so advanced they seem like science fiction, then make them real. From the internet's precursor, ARPANET, to self-driving cars and motion sensors, DARPA's inventions have redefined what's possible. They don't just push boundaries, they obliterate them. But for every life-changing innovation, there's a shadow, a purpose tied to military dominance. And that's where things get murky. The game changers, DARPA's public face. Let's talk about the good stuff first. DARPA's contributions to civilian life are undeniable. The internet, which started as ARPANET in the 1960s, connected computers across the globe and laid the foundation for the digital age. GPS, born in 1973, revolutionized navigation. By the 1980s, DARPA was experimenting with autonomous vehicles, decades before Tesla made them trendy. Microphones, wireless tech, even the chips in your phone, DARPA's DNA runs through them all. These technologies didn't just change lives, they rewrote society. Imagine a world without the internet or GPS. It's hard, right? That's DARPA's legacy, a world transformed. But here's the thing, these are the projects they let us see, the ones they're proud of, the ones that make it into TED Talks and tech blogs. What about the projects they don't advertise? The ones buried in classified files, whispered about in the halls of the Pentagon. That's where the real story begins. The dark side, weapons of the future. Picture this, it's midnight in New York City. You're perched in a skyscraper, a sniper rifle in your hands. The night is dark, but your scope's night vision cuts through the shadows. A target steps out of a building nearly a mile away. You take a deep breath, steady your aim, and pull the trigger. Normally, a moving target would be a problem. Wind, distance, or a sudden car could ruin the shot. But not with DARPA's tech. Their smart bullet, developed under the X-Acto program, locks onto its target mid-flight, adjusting its trajectory in real time. It's not just a bullet, it's a guided missile. Terrifying, right? This isn't science fiction. The US military successfully tested these self-steering bullets years ago, though the full details remain under wraps. Videos released later showed the bullet weaving through the air, chasing its target with eerie precision. For snipers, this tech is a game changer, near-perfect accuracy in the toughest conditions. But let's be real, a bullet that can think for itself isn't just about precision. It's about amplifying the ability to kill, and that's just one of DARPA's darker creations. Then there's the Living Materials Project. Sounds harmless, doesn't it? Think again. DARPA's Engineering Living Materials program aims to create building materials that can grow, adapt, and heal themselves. Imagine concrete that repairs its own cracks or walls that regenerate after a blast. Inspired by biological systems like coral or tree bark, these materials could revolutionize construction. But on the battlefield, they could create self-healing bunkers or fortifications that adapt to attacks. It's brilliant and unsettling. And how about blood farming? DARPA's blood farming project sought to mass-produce red blood cells artificially, slashing the costs and risks of blood transfusions. The goal? Save soldiers' lives on the battlefield and reduce disease transmission in hospitals. Noble, sure, but since 2013, updates on the project have gone quiet. No new reports, no budget details. Did it fail, or is it just too sensitive to share? What are they hiding? Perhaps the creepiest of all is the Hybrid Insect Microelectromechanical Systems MEMS program. Yes, you read that right. DARPA turned insects into spies. By implanting tiny cameras and microphones into developing insects like moths, they created living drones that can infiltrate enemy territory. These cyborg bugs are nearly impossible to detect, blending into nature while gathering intel. Developed with researchers from MIT and Cornell, this project feels like it was ripped from a dystopian novel. The idea of a butterfly spying on you is equal parts genius and horrifying. Super soldiers and beyond, DARPA's ambitions don't stop at gadgets or bugs. They want to redefine what it means to be human. Their super soldier programs aim to create warriors with near superhuman abilities. The Warrior Web project, for instance, is developing lightweight exosuits that boost strength and endurance, allowing soldiers to carry heavy loads across rugged terrain. Think Iron Man, but softer and more flexible, like a high-tech wetsuit packed with sensors. Then there's the Hulse exoskeleton, a bulkier, more powerful version straight out of sci-fi blockbusters like Avatar or Edge of Tomorrow. These suits don't just enhance strength, they're fitted with advanced weapon systems, turning soldiers into walking arsenals. And if that's not wild enough, DARPA's working on jetpacks. Yes, actual jetpacks that let soldiers fly across battlefields. Who could stand against a flying exoskeleton-clad super soldier? But DARPA's not content with external enhancements. They're diving deeper into the human body itself. The CAP program, for example, uses brain stimulation to keep soldiers focused for up to 7 days straight. Imagine a warrior who never sleeps, never falters. The Brain Initiative takes it further, linking soldiers' brains directly to computers. They can control drones or weapon systems with their thoughts alone, multitasking in ways that defy human limits. One part of their brain analyzes the battlefield while another pilots a drone. It's mind-blowing and a little scary. DARPA's biological revolution goes even further. They're studying how animals heal or regenerate, think lizards regrowing tails, and applying those principles to humans. The goal? Soldiers who can heal wounds instantly or even regrow lost limbs without external devices. This requires rewriting DNA, and DARPA's pouring resources into gene editing technologies like CRISPR. The potential is staggering, curing genetic disorders, eliminating diseases, creating invincible warriors. But tampering with human DNA raises ethical questions. What happens when you start rewriting what makes us human? The rise of killer robots. If super soldiers sound intense, DARPA's robotics programs are downright apocalyptic. Since the 1960s, they've been building killer robots, starting with a clunky prototype called Shaky. By the 2000s, in collaboration with Boston Dynamics, they unveiled Big Dog, a four-legged robot that can carry heavy weapons across rough terrain. Its successor, Atlas, introduced in 2013, is even more advanced. Powered by AI, Atlas can run, jump, and navigate obstacles with eerie grace. These robots aren't just pack mules. They can be armed with sniper rifles or machine guns, tracking enemies autonomously. Investigative journalist Annie Jacobson, who's tracked DARPA for years, warns that the Pentagon is all in on robotic warfare. Their 2038 roadmap envisions battles fought entirely by machines, with no human casualties on their side. Drones, smart bullets, and AI-driven robots could replace soldiers entirely. But DARPA's not stopping there. They want wars where humans don't even call the shots. AI and the War Without Humans. DARPA's AI research began in the 1960s, long before Siri or Alexa. By the 1970s, they'd built speech recognition systems. In the 1980s, their strategic computing initiative poured billions into AI development. Their goal? Machines that can think, learn, and strategize like humans. By the 2000s, they were simulating war scenarios, letting AI predict and optimize outcomes. The 1983 film War Games, inspired by DARPA's work, imagined a supercomputer taking control of the military. Fiction? Maybe not. Today, 70% of DARPA's projects involve AI or machine learning. They're building systems that could run entire wars without human input. Imagine a battlefield where AI decides who lives and who dies, where robots execute orders with cold precision. It's a future where human judgment is obsolete, and that's exactly what DARPA's chasing, the surveillance state. But DARPA's reach extends beyond the battlefield. In the 1990s, they saw the internet's potential, not just as a tool for connection, but for control. Through programs like MDDS, Massive Digital Data Systems, DARPA, alongside the CIA and NSA, funded tech startups to collect vast amounts of personal data. The goal? Create digital profiles of every individual, predicting behavior and identifying threats. If two criminals visit the same websites, anyone else visiting those sites might be flagged as suspicious. Sound paranoid? It's real. This is where things get personal. In 1994, DARPA's Highlands Forum was established, a secretive think tank connecting tech companies, government officials, and researchers. No records, no transparency, just closed-door deals. Through MDDS and the Highlands Forum, DARPA funneled money into a project by 2 Stanford students, a search engine that could analyze billions of users' habits. That project? Google. Yes, that Google. Early papers by founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page thanked DARPA for their support. Check page 116, figure 7 of their 1998 paper. Google's ability to deliver precise search results came from association rule mining, a technique that tracks user behavior to predict interests. Search for baseball, and the system assumes you're a sports fan, maybe even a young one. Every click builds your digital profile, and DARPA's been watching from the start. The cost of progress, Agent Orange in Vietnam. DARPA's darkest chapter, though, isn't about futuristic tech. It's about a tragedy that still haunts millions. During the Vietnam War, DARPA developed herbicides like Agent Orange, sprayed across jungles to destroy cover for guerrilla fighters. From 1961 to 1971, the U.S. dumped nearly 80 million liters of these chemicals, including 44 million liters of Agent Orange, laced with dioxin, a toxin so potent it's measured in parts per trillion. The results were catastrophic. In Vietnam, 3.8 million acres of farmland were destroyed, 1,000 farmers died, and 13,000 livestock perished. Today, an estimated 4.8 million Vietnamese suffer from Agent Orange-related illnesses, including 500,000 children born with birth defects and 2 million with cancer or other diseases. Even U.S. soldiers weren't spared. 250,000 veterans died prematurely from exposure. Dr. James Clary, a scientist who worked on the spraying systems, admitted they knew the risks. "We were warned about the dioxin," he said, "but since it was used on the enemy, we didn't care too much." The pain lingers, a reminder that DARPA's pursuit of victory can leave devastation in its wake. The bigger picture. So what's the takeaway? DARPA's given us tools that define our world. GPS, the internet, AI. But every gift comes with strings. Their tech empowers soldiers, spies, and governments, often at the expense of freedom and lives. The Real World channel has covered stories like this before, exposing the hidden costs of progress. Are DARPA's creations worth it? That's for you to decide. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about understanding the trade-offs. DARPA's work has saved lives and driven humanity forward, but it's also fueled wars, surveillance, and ethical dilemmas. Their story is a paradox, a beacon of innovation and a shadow of control. What do you think they're working on now? In labs we'll never see. Let's keep digging, keep questioning, and keep exploring the truth. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.